Hi everyone, my presentation is called Conversation Guide for Intake Advisement Sessions, helping students articulate the why and how of their career choices. So first of all, let's look at who we're talking about as far as the students are for this presentation. I'm looking at students at a community college in Appalachian, Alabama, mostly low-income first-generation students and many developmental education students. The theoretical basis for this is Josso's community cultural wealth model as well as Baxter-Magolda's self-authorship theory. So the community cultural wealth model basically says that there are 6 forms of capital: aspirational capital, or the ability to remain hopeful and optimistic in the face of obstacles; linguistic capital, the ability to communicate clearly; familial capital, various forms of knowledge gained through interactions with immediate and extended family; social capital, networks of people and community resources; navigational capital, skills used to traverse diverse institutional settings; and resistant capital, and this is knowledge and skills gained from challenges. The self-authorship theory is defined as the internal capacity to define one's beliefs, identity, and social relations. So this is a movement from accepting others as sources of absolute knowledge to realizing some knowledge is not absolute or fixed, to then recognizing your own ability to make meaning. So there's 4 stages of this: absolute knowing, that knowledge is certain; transitional knowing, the belief that some knowledge is uncertain; independent knowing, knowledge is mostly uncertain; and contextual knowing, legitimacy of knowledge claims is determined contextually. The path to self-authorship has 4 phases, according to this theory. Phase 1 is following formulas, expectations of others, family, friends, culture, and society. Phase 2, crossroads, that there are attempts to resolve tension between others' expectations and personal desires. Phase 3, becoming the author of one's life, and this is the ability to choose beliefs and stand up for them in the face of conflict. And then Phase 4, internal foundation. This is where a person becomes grounded in self-determined belief system, identity, and mutuality of relationships. So why did I choose these theories to base my interview questions? Most of our first-generation developmental education college freshmen and sophomores are unaware of the various capitals that they have access to. Most of these same students are hovering between Phase 1 and Phase 2 in the self-authorship theory. They're still unsure as to how their desires for the future measure up to the expectations of others. And then guiding students through the difficulties of these crossroads and helping them realize the capital they already possess are overarching themes of student advisement or mentoring. So the questions that I used in my student advisement session, or my intake interview questions, were: tell me what interested you in whatever the program of study or career is. What strategies have you employed to learn more about this career or program? Can you tell me about who, if anyone, has helped you explore your career? What were his or her thoughts on your career or program choice? Tell me about your family's perspective of college. Is it something they expected you to do, wanted you to do, or didn't feel strongly about either way? What have you been told by teachers or family are your strengths? What do you think your strengths are related to your career choice? If you complete this program and can't find a job as whatever the career specific job description is, what would you do next? And finally, what goals do you have for your future after completing this program? So my goals for these interview questions were to get the student to start thinking through not just this kind of vague idea of what they want to do for their future, but the specifics about exactly why they feel it's a good fit for them, what their plans are for the future, and what they'll do if those plans don't work out. So student answers were consistent with both Josso's community cultural wealth model and Baxter-Magolda's self-authorship theory. Students struggled to identify and define validity of career choices outside of expectations and opinions of others. The student was unaware of capital already in her possession, and the student believed some knowledge is uncertain, but did not seem interested in or aware even that it was possible to create meaning outside of the societal and familial expectations that she has internalized. I think program possibilities for the future would include training instructors and advisors in some basic mentoring strategies, as well as general student development theories, and that this could help students make smoother transitions between the phases of self-authorship and recognize and utilize the capital they have at their disposal. I also think using a uniform intake questionnaire similar to the one in this presentation can help students think through their career choices and plans for the future in their advisement sessions, rather than solely focusing on academic issues such as registration and financial aid. And I think it would also give instructors and those maybe not as trained or familiar with advisement or mentoring a kind of script to go by to help get discussions started.